Hi, I'm here to see Estelle Leonard.
Just a moment. Let me see if she's in. Hello.
Joey, sweetheart, you were fabulous. Joey, have you ever seen me ecstatic?
No.
Well, here it is.
I'm June Gable, and I play Estelle, and she is the agent of Joey.
I already got you into audition for Another World.
All right. Cab driver number 2?
You're welcome.
I came in and I auditioned, and when I came in, I kind of came in like myself, and they were like, oh, you know. I said, am I boring you? I felt terrible. And then he said, you know, just go away and do something outrageous with it. So I went away and came back, and in fact, I'm on my way to the studio, and I have her with me. And I just got this. I came back to the audition wearing a fat suit and a bunch of cigarettes.
What I meant...
You don't mind if I eat while we talk, do you?
No.
And a big sandwich, you know, one of those deli sandwiches with corned beef and a million things on them, dripping. And at one point, I took the cigarette and put it out in the sandwich, and they said, that's it.
Well, well, well. Joey Tribbiani. So you came back, huh? They think they can do better, but they all come crawling back to Estelle.
What are you talking about? I never left you. You've always been my agent.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no harm, no foul.
There's a history to her. She was an ex-showgirl. She's very old. I don't even know if anybody knows how old I have her in my head. She's in her 80s and tottering, really. But, you know, she's out there. You know, she puts that makeup on like she's still 20. You know, she thinks she looks fabulous.
So, you're not mad at me for getting fired and everything?
Joey, look at me. Look at me. Do I have lipstick on my teeth?
At the beginning of every show, they do a football huddle. They hold each other and they support each other. And this has been there since the beginning. And you have to realize, with most shows like this, with that much fame and fortune and success and power and money coming at you, I watch these people not only handle it and go through the ups and downs, but support each other.
We're not actors.
Ah, what a shame. Because with her face and her chest, I could really put something together.
I have great admiration for them for sticking with each other.
These are for you. Welcome to our country.
Thank you. I'm from New York.
You know, it still smells like monkey in there.
Oh, that saves us a conversation. You know, in some cultures, having a third nipple is actually a sign of virility. You get the best huts and women dance naked around you.
Huh. Are any of these cultures perchance in the tri-state area?
My name's Lauren Tom, and I played Julie, Ross's girlfriend, well, the first in a long line of many what would become exes, I suppose.
Bye. See you later, Rach.
Bye-bye, Julie.
Julie, I think, was just like a very nice gal, and the humor that the writers created was the fact that, you know, Rachel was going to think she was a bitch. Can I say that on the DVD? No matter how she acted or what she did, because in her mind she was the other woman.
Oh, you're losing your apron here. Let me get it.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you.
What a bitch.
You know, I've had kind of a long career by now, because this is like, what, 6, 7 years later, and I've done Greek tragedies and Shakespeare and, you know, feature films and all these things, but really, the only thing people want to know from me is what was it like kissing David Schwimmer.
Julie?
Yeah.
Sorry, you had a paleontologist on your face.
And by the way, just to answer your question, it was great. He's a good kisser. Just to put everyone's, you know, minds at ease.
You know, you are so amazing. Is there anything you don't know?
Julie's so smart. Julie's so special.
I've had so many young Asian girls come up to me and say that was the first role model that they've had on such a widespread TV show where they got to see, you know, an Asian girl who wasn't speaking with an accent, who was American, and who was, you know, desirable and sexy and funny, and it was just a great way for me to feel like I've done something that I'm proud of.
I want you to know, I didn't used to be like this. Before I met your sister, I was like this normal guy who sold beepers and cellular phones.
So what were you thinking?
I was thinking what it'd be like to kiss you.
Really?
No.
Oh. You don't have to walk behind me anymore.
Sorry. I'm David Arquette, and I played Phoebe's stalker.
That's it. No. Hey, you, J. Crew guy. Yeah. Why have you been following me? I mean, all week long, everywhere I look, there's you.
You wouldn't return my calls. You sent back my letters.
What?
One more chance, Ursula, please. I'm not sure how I was cast in this role. I had just worked with Courtney on Scream. Maybe she threw my name in there. I'm not sure. A little nepotism. Here's my binoculars.
Oh, great. Great. You're doing great. You know, real strong. Going strong. Keep going.
These are my night vision goggles. This is the book I pretend to read when I'm watching her in the park. And these are Mad Libs. They're just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
I don't normally do sitcoms, but I do a lot of peeping Tom action, so I was prepared for this part. No, I did a sitcom for a year that really went nowhere, but I had a little bit of experience with it. But that's a whole different deal when it comes to Friends, because it's so established and they're all so wonderful at doing it. You're kind of nervous going in there. Phoebe?
Yes? Yes. Oh.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was just here looking for my, my part of an old sandwich. Here it is. Oh.
Were you following me?
Perhaps.
One of my fondest memories is sneaking into Courtney's dressing room. I guess I was sort of really behind the scenes kind of stalking Courtney, actually.
This is, my fiancée, Mrs. Knight.
You know what? Forget it. It's ruined.
Oh, no, never say that. If you can't get it out, then you can cut around the stain, add a little lace, you make a stylish throw. Actually, I came down to ask you a big favor.
Oh, well, don't tell me you want to keep more of your stuff in my uterus.
I went in and auditioned for Alice Knight. She was a home ec teacher and was in love with a student in high school, a senior. I think he was, please God, he was a senior.
I was in her home ec class.
And he was my best student.
Yeah, she was my best teacher.
Oh.
At the time, though, it was a one-shot deal. And then when Lisa Kudrow got pregnant, they had to come up with a storyline, so they used me and Vonnie, which I'm very grateful for.
You're too young to really know what you want.
That's right, exactly.
I had not met Giovanni until we started work, and all we did was make out. I mean, that's all we did. And I just remember standing on the set, and he's 12. He's 12. He's 12 years old. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, oh my God. And we're just standing there, and Giovanni looks at me and he goes, okay, you know what we're gonna do? And I went, no. And he went, I'm just going to throw you on the table and make out with you and we have to do it, and we have to be committed. And then it's over, and then it's done. And boom, I'm on the table and we're making out.
A year and a half ago, I didn't even know I had a brother. Now I have a sister, too. Oh, it's so great. Oh.
I don't think that I could have done it with anybody else, because he just sort of, the 12-year-old took charge. And I was grateful.
We talked about just living together, but we want to have kids right away.
Oh, my God.
great.
I know audiences reacted really well to the storyline. And the audience at that show is incredible because they know the characters so well. They anticipate a little bit. You don't have to do too much, and they're right there with you.
We would be truly honored if you would name the other boy baby.
Oh, wow. That's so nice. Oh, Cougar.
You think about it.
I have probably done the most pilots and been on the most failed sitcoms of anybody we know. And it was interesting to see how it's done right. And they would get copies of the episodes and watch them in a dressing room. I mean, and this was year 4. So they would actually sit down and watch the tapes and study them, which I had never seen done before. And I thought, oh my God, they actually know what's going on. They actually, work at it. I was very impressed.
So tell me everything about my parents, everything.
Oh, well, we were always together. In fact, the other kids had a nickname for the 3 of us.
Oh, what? What was it?
The 3 losers. I'm your mother.
Huh? Hi.
I'm sorry I'm late. Oh, that's okay. It gave me time to finish blazing my nipples.
Wow. We go all out when you're expecting company.
I played Phoebe's mother on Friends, which is a totally, fictitious show about people being friends. I've had a lot of friends in my life, groups of friends. And I always, in 5 or 6 people that are friends together, there's always one person that's chubby. And I noticed in this show, there's no people that are chubby because, it's TV.
I mean, I like pizza.
I like pizza.
Wait, I like the Beatles.
Oh, my God, so do I!
I was chosen to play Phoebe's mother because apparently there's some similarities in us. I didn't see it myself, and neither did she, although many people have told me that I should sue her for stealing my bits, my act, but I let it go. I passed the baton. I go, here, you do this. You be the ditz.
Ah, no! Oh, it's me! I didn't want to make any noise! Then don't break in!
I once got a review that said if a brick could sing, it would sound like Terry Garr. And now Lisa's picking up, as I say, the baton and running with it. She just sounds like a brick.
Those are the 66 colors of my bedroom. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and I invite all of you to count the colors in your bedroom.
In order for Phoebe to be my daughter, I would have had to have her when I was 12. So, I mean, the age difference is outrageous. So I took the part anyway, just, to be nice to them.
I mean, remember how I told you how Lily and Frank and I, we were close? Well, we were very close.
How close?
Well, the 3 of us, we were kind of a couple.
I'm not used to playing such sexually liberated. In fact, Marta asked me to do this part in the nude, which I was in shock because it's TV. But I think, on Friends, they do a lot of weird stuff.
I was working on my pottery.
Oh, I didn't know that you did pot.
Well, yeah, mostly nudes. It combines my 2 passions, pottery and erotica.
Oh, erotery. Hey! Okay.
So I said, no, I'll do it, but I won't do it in the nude. But I will do the part about the erotic erotery. Was I supposed to be sexually liberated? I didn't even know that.
You're a potato.
Well, I'm a spud.
And the antenna. Oh my God, you're Sputnik!
Yes! Marry her.
I don't want to get in the middle of something so complicated.
I get it. But Mona, what relationship is not complicated? I mean, we all have our baggage. You must too. Why else would you still be single? I'm so gonna leave right now.
I've got a surprise for you.
You got another ex-wife back there?
Please start drinking.
I'm Bonnie Somerville, and I played Mona, Ross's girlfriend.
I'm Monica's older brother.
Oh, hi. I'm Mona from her restaurant.
Oh. Hello, Mona from her restaurant.
Mona was the coolest girlfriend ever in the history of the world, I just have to say, because, first of all, he had another girl pregnant, Rachel, and Mona still dated him. She put up with so much crap. I still have people come up to me on the street going, "You were the best girlfriend ever. He should be with you." I'm like, I wish, I wish we'd done more episodes, but she was like the non-existent woman in real life because she never complained. She didn't ask for anything. Sure, your ex-girlfriend is pregnant with your baby. That's fine. We'll still date. We'll still hang out. It's totally cool.
Listen, Ross is too nice to say anything, but this is his apartment, and we gotta have some boundaries. So why don't you just go back to your place and give us some privacy?
But, Mona, I live here.
Happy Valentine's Day!
David Schwimmer directed a couple that I did, and actually, I think one of the funniest episodes on television that he did was the one where Mona asks him, "Where's this relationship going?"
I mean, I love spending time with you. I hope we're moving forward. I mean, we should probably talk about that, don't you think?
Everyone I know says that episode was just brilliant. He was amazing. And it was great working with him as a director because here's a guy who's so experienced and knows so much of what he's doing, but he was so into my ideas and what I thought. So it was awesome.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Fun was fine for you like 10 years ago, but, I mean, you're not getting any younger. No, I mean, no, not you. You are getting younger. I mean, you look like you're getting younger by the second. What's your secret?
David Schwimmer created this character and works really hard at it and brings this guy to life, and he's just so talented. I learned a lot from watching him. Like facial expressions, he's the best at facial expressions.
First you get my Rachel pregnant?
You got Rachel pregnant?
Who did?
You did!
Yes. Yes, I did, but it was just a one-night thing. It meant nothing.
Oh, really? That's what my daughter means to you? Nothing?
No, sir. She means a lot to me. I mean, I care. I love Rachel.
What?
Oh, but not that way. I mean, I'm not in love with her. I love her like a friend.
I've worked on a lot of shows, and I've worked on canceled shows, pilots, and the one thing that I cannot believe about the Friends set, I'm sure other people can attest to this, their craft service, their food is insane.
I brought you back a present.
What? Oh, come on. You didn't have to. Saltwater taffy?
So I would do the show, and then I'd, get off work, and I'd tell my friends, you can't believe what they had to eat tonight. Just like, because it's exciting. It's, they have everything there. I sound like I'm like this poor kid from the wrong side of the tracks, and I got to eat every tape night on Friends. But it is quite a spread there.
It was just so much fun to go to work every day and to laugh. I mean, what more could you ask for in a job? It's a little, it's kind of amazing that way.
When you walk in there, you just get the feeling that everything is there for you, and everybody's creative, everybody's brilliant at what they do.
Everybody's trying to make the best product that they can.
They have such wonderful writers that you don't really have to do anything except sort of make their words come alive.
Such a well-oiled machine that you work on a show like that, and then you just want every experience you have to be that wonderful.
Here's the thing. I've worked with Spielberg and Scorsese, Francis Coppola, many top directors. And coming on the set of Friends was a complete and total come down. No, just kidding.
You said you were gonna wear a thong. Where's the thong?
I didn't mean a thong. I meant thong. Zzz.
Really should have been more clear about that.
You know what? This is nothing. My father is a raging alcoholic. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I made this evening uncomfortable? You go, girlfriend.
You never said that in your life, have you?
Not once.
I thought so.
I played the paleontology professor Charlie Wheeler on Friends in season 9 and season 10.
I'm Professor Wheeler.
Oh, that's nice.
I was called and told that they had this role for the show and that it was going to last maybe like 4 weeks. By the time I got the audition, I'd probably seen every episode of the show.
I'm sorry, Rachel, this is Charlie Wheeler. She's a colleague.
Charlie Wheeler was smart, very modern. You know, she's a paleontologist. She probably had a couple of graduate degrees.
Have you ever been in a relationship with someone who hasn't won the Nobel Prize?
No. She had only previously dated kind of these geniuses. She was a very picky dater. You know, most guys are just worried about whether they have fresh breath and both their shoes match. My first scenes were with Matt, and he was so great. He just took the time out to kind of like say, hey, this can be kind of crazy. Don't get freaked out. People freak out. Don't freak out. If you need anything, come ask me. And David said the same thing. He's like, if you need anything, just come and ask me. I'll help you. Matt kind of took the time out to like just talk to me. And he told me the storyline, which I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know what my storyline was. And he told me, he was like, okay, well, this is what it's laid out to be. David likes you, but then you end up with me, and then you get together with me, and then we start dating, and he's really jealous, and then he likes you, and then he kisses you, and because he kisses you, I kiss Rachel. And I was like, oh my God, he's like, I know! And it was just like such a huge storyline. It was like the pivotal kind of storyline of that season, and it was great. The first episode I did, where I meet everybody, it's the rooftop party thing, and he's trying to fake that he's sick so that everybody will leave and he can go to the party. And they all know that he's lying about the party, and so they make him open up his robe. And he had taped David Schwimmer's headshot to his crotchal area, which made everybody kind of like fall into tears and lay on the ground for like 10 minutes. That was really fun. They're all so funny. And they're a family, you know, they kind of are just used to kind of pranking each other, so they have a good time. The, oh my God, I can't believe it point of my time on there was that first scene when I was with everybody in Chandler and Monica's apartment and being like, no way, you know, I'm on Friends. I think that was that moment for me.
I'm okay.
David is so funny because he is one of the few actors that can seem really, really smart, being really, really silly. You know, he played this, you know, this guy with a PhD, he was a doctor of paleontology, but his character was so elastic and so silly and goofy and kind of self-effacing and constantly embarrassing himself.
Listen, hey, Rose, why don't you try to relax, okay? Maybe have a drink.
You know what? That is a very good idea. I'm gonna go make a picture of margaritas.
The funniest scene that I did with David was the last scene that I did with David, last scene I did on the episode when I leave him for Greg Kinnear.
Sweetie, this conversation's starting to make me a little uncomfortable.
The way he said it was so funny.
This conversation's making me a little uncomfortable.
It took us literally like 15 takes. He's so good, and he just makes choices that nobody else would make. I mean, he makes really unusual, very non-obvious choices. So you can watch that guy. You can learn a lot, I think, from him. I did this scene with David where I tell Ross that I broke up with Joey because we didn't have anything in common, and we're having this like kind of really intense heart-to-heart. And I finished the scene, and everybody comes running over, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna tell me how good I was, and they're all like, we could see your underwear during the entire scene. So then when you actually see the scene that I did, that ended up in the show, you'll see that when I sit down, I very gently lift my skirt right before I sit down so that it covers the tops of my underwear. At that point, you can't be embarrassed because, like, you know, 300 people are sitting in the audience. It's like, what are you going to do? Go sit in your dressing room and, you know, and be upset? I was like, oh, well, you know, they're nice underwear. It was a good underwear day. I was wearing nice underwear, so.
I'm gonna change my name.
Great. Okay, what are you going to change it to?
Crap bag.
Mike Crap Bag?
No, Mike. No, just crap bag. First name crap, last name bag. Thanks for coming, you guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going for a handshake.
Is that why your hand is pressed against my crotch?
That is why.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this little talk.
Yes, yeah. And thanks for all the wedding night advice. That didn't make me uncomfortable at all.
I played Mike Hannigan, Phoebe's eventual husband. I was in Los Angeles, and my agent called me and said, you know, would you be interested in appearing on a couple of episodes of Friends? It was only ever supposed to be a couple. It was a little strange kind of entering the show in its 9th year, and it was already really well established, and they'd been working together for years and years. And they were horrible to me, and they remained horrible until the very last episode. They wouldn't ever address me by name. Both Matts never looked me in the eye. David Schwimmer used to spike my food. He peed on it one time, actually. I had a salad. What are you gonna do? That's work, I guess.
You need both hands for that?
Yeah, I kind of do. Well, how's this?
I'd met Lisa one other time. She was so nice, and she's so funny. She's developed her own kind of intonation. Like, nobody does really what she does.
Well, I'm no longer Phoebe Buffet.
That's great. You changed your name?
Yes, I did. Meet Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
I just try and, in any scene that if I can, work my ass to stick out in some awkward way, I will.
You are really good.
Probably one of my favorite shows that I got to do in regard to Lisa was the show where she meets my parents.
Mom, Dad, this is Phoebe. Phoebe, these are my parents, Theodore and Bitsy.
Theodore, Bitsy. What a delight.
That episode, I think, became even more fun to work on because I think that we really got to add some things.
No, when he gets going, he can rattle a headboard like a sailor on leave.
My two favorite shows that I got to be a part of were that one and then the one with Ross and I not having anything to say to one another. There was a lot in that scene that actually wasn't on the show. We did awkward pauses that lasted minutes long, and that was just really, that was fun to do. Like, we kept kind of laughing at our own shtick, knowing full well it would never make it.
I'll get it. Hello? Ross's place. Mike speaking. That's for you.
I don't understand what just happened here.
There's just nothing funnier to me than awkwardness.
Oh, by the way, I'm awesome.
They had a ping pong table set up all week during rehearsals. I am a terrible ping pong player. I got better because of that episode because they brought in people to work with us. They brought in ping pong experts. When they would run through other scenes, Courtney and I were constantly yelled at, saying, like, cut it out. We're rehearsing over here. Whatever, you know. Don't write it into the script next time, is what I say, you know?
Mike, do you take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
I am happy that Phoebe and I got married. It's just surreal to me. It's weird that there's this major show that I remember when it first aired, and then it comes down to, you know, the 9th season, and then to kind of find myself mixing with these people in these sets that are so familiar to me but are still so foreign to me, and then to marry one of them, it's just crazy. It's a little overwhelming if I think about it.
I want one.
Oh, yeah? Well, tell me which one. I'll try to slip it in my coat.
People kind of just seem to root for this couple. I think they just like the dynamic.
What are we gonna do?
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but we could not let the box of rats ruin our lives.
It was just a really fun place to go to. Everybody was really nice, and I didn't really have that much experience with sitcom television or anything like that, but I was really spoiled by going into that one.
I was gonna let you use my Ralph Lauren discount. You are not gonna regret this.
You remember Joey? Yeah, hey, sure. The Days of Our Lives guy.
That's right, yeah.
You are not good. We're gonna be roomies.
I played Rachel's sister Amy in 2 episodes on Friends.
This is my sister, Amy. This is Chandler, Joey, Phoebe, and you know Mon.
Hi.
I had worked with Bright Kaufman Crane on my show, which was Jessie, a few years ago, so I think I was sort of fresh in their minds at that point. I was really nervous, I have to say. I was really nervous, and I remember the first time I was on, before I'm knocking on the door to come into Ross and Rachel's apartment, I almost fainted. I hadn't been in front of an audience for probably 3 years at that point, and even though I had spent 13 years of my life doing that, it wasn't my territory, first of all, you know, so it wasn't my comfort zone. It was somebody else's home, and just the audience, the sound of the audience just really freaked me out. I really got scared.
Oh my God. You're on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Wow. They must put a lot of makeup on you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I just feel that she's someone who she doesn't edit. She speaks out her process. She says the first thing that comes to her mind.
Do you have a hair straightener? Hi. Hi. Hair straightener.
I think that Amy has high regard for her sister's life and sort of finds it glamorous. Would never obviously admit that she's, you know, somewhat jealous or envious of her lifestyle, but, you know, just figures that she lives in a place that's bigger and more lavish and lush. But at the end of the day, it's her sister, and she loves her. And she looks up to her and wants to emulate her in every way.
So welcome. Is this the first time you're seeing Emma?
Yeah, I think so. It's nice to meet you, Emma.
Phoebe.
Oh, that's a funny noise.
They were really welcoming and lovely to me, and I got to hang out with Jennifer a lot, and she's top-notch human being. My favorite line in the show, and it was one of those things that they wrote right in front of the audience, was,
Emma, Ross wants you.
Phoebe!
Why does she keep making that noise?
it's one of those things that they just, you know, threw in there at the last minute, and it was brilliant. It was really nice to be in the room with them and to have all the relationships in there and watch all of them play out and sort of be a fly on the wall of that. Because that's what the show's about. The show's about the camaraderie and the chemistry that they all have together, and all these very defined characters put in this situation, how different they are and how much individuals they are, but yet they click. And it was great. It's great to watch. They're such a talented group of people, and I was really fortunate to be sitting there watching the pros do it.
My so-called sister gets a 30% discount from Ralph Lauren, and I still have to pay retail? Oh, it's 45. You bitch.
The cat fight was definitely the highlight of the entire show. Not because I got to beat up Jennifer, but just that she got to beat up me. You know, it was so much fun to do that, and we rehearsed it all week, and it was interesting. So it wasn't feeling like it was very funny, and then I don't know who it was who suggested it, that she put her hand on my head and that I start swinging and doing that, you know, the old sort of Three Stooges gag of not being able to touch her, and that was it. It was just, the audience went insane. We had such a good time doing that fight scene. I mean, every time afterwards we'd be out of breath, and, you know, our hair would be a mess, and we want to do it again. We want to do it again and again and again. It was really, it up-leveled the energy on the stage. It was a lot of fun.
You're not Rachel.
Still Shopper's Attack.
I thought it was just going to be a one-time deal and, you know, do it and do my thing and leave, and I was really happy when they asked me to come back this year.
Hey, you are so irresponsible. I am never letting you babysit ever again.
Hey, you know what? This kid needs me, okay? She needs to have a cool, fun aunt.
I'm a cool, fun aunt.
Okay.
It was really lovely, you know, just having the audience just see you and be grateful and applaud. And that was really nice. That made me feel good. You get on a set like that and you wish that all sets that you've been on were like that, and I was getting nostalgic for the whole process because they just made me feel so comfortable and felt so good to be there.
To make something last for 10 years and make people fall in love with those characters the way that they have, that's really the actors, and they just know how to do it.
But to be a part of a show that was that important culturally, you know, that people loved and so many people watched, and not just in the United States, but I mean, all over the world. You know, people write me fan mail from Europe and Asia, and that's really exciting and interesting. And I think that's just like a nice milestone to be able to point back and go, I was a part of that.